Have you ever had someone whose love towards you failed to meet your expectations in the moment? Perhaps this is in a big, life altering way, or perhaps it manifested in a minor disappointment. When we have felt let down or felt as if someone's love hasn't measured up to our expectations, the natural thing can be to withdraw our love or at least dial some of it back. I mean, after all, it's hard to unreservedly put ourselves out there when we don't have the security that we're going to receive it in return. In our humanness, we can have a tendency to love lavishly in proportion to the amount of trust we have in the person we are loving. Now, in our memory verse passage from John 15:9, we are given an astounding promise that if we're not careful, we can totally gloss over it and take it for granted. And it says this: "As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you, abide in my love." Now, this verse gives us a promise followed by a command. The promise is that the extent and the depth by which Christ loves us is also the extent and the depth by which the Father loves him. So think about what this means. It means we are loved absolutely perfectly by Christ because he was loved perfectly by his Father. That love didn't always entail a pain-free life, but it did entail the Father's presence in the pain. The pain wasn't symbolic of an imperfect love, as it often is for us in a fallen world, but rather is representative of a perfect love. Now, consider the ways the Father loved the Son. There was no restraint involved in that love, no coldness, no distance. There was constant presence. There was constant communion. And since God is love, that love emanated from him. It was completely opposite of a performance-driven love that we find ourselves surrounded by. Right? So Christ didn't die for us because we were lovely, but he died to make us lovely. He made the first move. And so do you see what this means for us? Right? So flowing out of this promise, we are commanded to abide in Christ's love. And in the context here, that love is obedience to him. We don't obey to get love, we obey to give love. We don't have to fear giving our entire selves to abiding in his love through obedience because he has already done that for us. We are completely free to have the security to have an unreserved, lavish love towards Christ that manifests in obedience to his commands. Remember, he didn't die for you because you were lovely, but to make you lovely. And someone who would do that for you, you can feel secure to love in return without measure.